Today I am going to show how to prepare vegetable bath. We have put the pressure cooker on the stove and we poured a few spoons of sunflower oil and also 2 spoons of ghee, which is basically what is called as a clarified butter. Now we have something called as the spices that we are adding here. As you can see, this is called as Marathi Moggu, Chekke, Lavanga, and then cardamom, all these spices. So we do this and then we keep all the vegetables chopped and ready that should be going here. As you can see, we have carrot, beans, potato, onions, peas, green peas, and some vegetables that are chopped. Basically this is onion, ginger and garlic. So this is a very useful chopper that we have been using for the last 12-13 years. Very handy to use and very quick. It chops everything that is needed for our vegetable dishes very fine. So along with that, my wife in the meanwhile has also added this leaf. This leaf is called as bay leaf. So we have our own bay leaf tree at home in Bangalore. So when we moved to Germany, we pulled few leaves maybe and then we brought it here. And next goes the soap, which is called as fennels in English. Okay, so we need to keep some time so that all this gets little bit fried in the ghee and oil mixture. We started using kasturi methi only in the recent times, otherwise we were not using. Kasturi methi is also good for health and also it gives a good taste. So what we are using here is the Everest kasturi methi, or it's called kasuri methi. So this is basically a dried fenugreek leaves. So we need to keep mixing this one here for some time. Let's see how much time it takes. So we are preparing this one for 2 of us, and then okay, now goes the chopped onions here. Just make sure that you sort all these things very well. Okay. I need to reduce the heat here, so I will go it to 5 and then goes the chopped onions. Just keep mixing it for some time here. In the meantime, make sure that you chop tomato. So usually we remove the seeds from the tomatoes, or sometimes you can even keep the whole tomato as is, and you need to cut the tomatoes into these small pieces. So we have 2 tomatoes and maybe 1 potato and maybe few carrots and maybe 200 grams of beans here. In the meantime, we get back and make sure that we are mixing this very well. So preparing vegetable bath may take up to 20 minutes. So the only work what we have now is cutting the vegetables into the required pieces. Otherwise, everything added and everything keep it in a pressure cooker. It should be done in 20 minutes or maybe 30 minutes, the worst case scenario. Okay, so now goes the tomatoes in. If you wish, you can also add some cashew when you add the masala items or the spices initially. Otherwise, it's up to individual choice. I prefer having cashews. So once we have all the tomatoes in the cooker, We just close the lid so that the tomatoes gets boiled for some couple of minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then it will be easily crushable. You need to keep stirring the tomatoes here and just make sure that the tomatoes are equally or maybe are getting boiled. Don't say boiled, but yeah. Okay, so the tomatoes are little boiled or say fried, and we need to make sure that we crushed all the tomatoes, and there goes little bit of turmeric powder, so tablespoon of and then goes the coriander powder. So just keep stirring this so that it doesn't get stick to the bottom, and then goes the chili powder. We have a couple of spoons or maybe 2 spoons of chili powder. I think you can start with little less. Maybe you can start with the amount of rice or for the amount of people you are cooking. So we usually go with 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder. So mix all these things well so that the rawness of all the vegetables goes away. Half a tablespoon of biryani masala, and now goes an handful of pudina and kothmiri soppu, which is basically mint and coriander. So now goes the chopped vegetables into the rice cooker. Yep. So once the veggies are in, just mix them, and there goes the peas. Just mix them equally so that all the spices and the vegetables get equally roasted. Okay, so now in the meantime, let us wash the rice twice. Okay, here goes the rice. This is 1 bowl of basmati rice, and then let's go for the normal Sona Masuri rice. Okay, so this is the second bowl of Sona Masuri rice. So 1 bowl of basmati rice and 1 bowl of normal Sona Masuri rice. The rice that we use for all our normal vegetable baths or biryanis, everything is India Gate basmati rice. The other one is the Sona Masuri. So the one what we got here in Germany or basically in Mannheim is these 2 brands. So we are very happy with the quality. What we do the measurement is that if we have 1 cup of Sona Masuri rice, we add 1 more cup of basmati rice. So we always do a 1:1 ratio, so that you don't feel that too much of basmati rice or too much of Sona Masuri rice. We always do 1:1, and since we do this in a pressure cooker, we add 2 times water. So if we have 2 cups of rice, we will have 4 cups of water. Okay, there goes the rice that was cleaned twice or washed twice. So mix everything, rice and all the vegetables. And here goes the water. So 4 cups of water needs to go. So 1:2. Since we have vegetables, we need to go for 4 glasses or 4 portions of water. Now goes the salt, 1 tablespoon of salt. So I would always recommend to start with little less salt, so that if the salt is little less once you cook, you can at least add in the end. If the salt is more, you will not be able to eat. And now we add 1 tablespoon of curd. So this curd will, what do we say? After adding the curd, mix well so that the curd gets completely mixed up with all the vegetables and the rice there. We add curd so that all these rice grains will be split or maybe will be individually there. It doesn't become like a paste. So it also reduces this acidity with all the spices that we add, and it also adds little taste to the rice bath. Stir well, make sure everything is mixed very well, and just taste whether salt, everything is as per your taste buds. And then just wait for a couple of seconds until the water starts bubbling or boiling here. So as you can see now, the water is kind of starting to boil. The vegetable gets boiling now. So once you see these bubbles, you can close the lid of the rice cooker, pressure cooker. So you can see here now. So these are the kind of water boiling. So let us now close the lid. Okay. And then keep we call it as a cooker, we call it as a weight. So once it is there, I think it takes couple of minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes based on the flame. So then we will see. So we usually wait for 3 whistles, but unfortunately here we wait only for 1 long whistle. Once we get the 1 long whistle, we turn off the induction stove and then we will taste the yummy vegetable bath. It is almost now up to 15 minutes. We're just waiting for the pressure to get released. Let's see, hopefully it should release in a couple of seconds or maybe 1 minute. The pressure is building up. The weight should come up at any moment. Okay, as you can see, the time, it is a long whistle. Once you get this long whistle, it shows that there is no more water inside your pressure cooker. So let us switch it off and then place this cooker, remove this cooker outside the stove. Otherwise it will be warm enough for another 10 minutes. Okay, so now the cooker is removed out of the hot pan. We will wait for 10 minutes so that it gets settled. So come back again after 10 minutes. Okay, we have waited now for almost 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see how the vegetable bath has come. So I lift the weight here. Okay, so there is no pressure, so it's all safe now to open the lid. Open the lid. Ta 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 ta. Ta 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 ta. Okay, it seems to be good and nice. Let me take the spoon and mix it and see how it looks like. Okay, it's not sticky, it's good. The aroma is very nice. The sweetness of the carrot and the potato is really good. Let's mix and see how it is. Okay, it has come out very well. As you can see, it's not sticking, it's not burnt, everything is perfectly cooked. Just mix it, don't mix it so much. Okay. The weather outside is now around 10 degrees, so having hot rice, vegetable rice in this time, my mouth is watering. Okay, let's enjoy the lunch.